Lisa Gawlas, Tribes and Clans. Timelines and Timelessness. Website, www.mysoulcenter.com. Boy oh boy, is there a ton of understandings I cannot wait to share today. Thank goodness my day doesn't start until unusually late today. So let that serve as a warning, this is going to be a long sharing. I am going to back up to Saturday morning before I left out for the reading field. To say I was feeling the unsureness of performance anxiety would be an understatement. I was sitting here at the kitchen table, and I asked to see an image of the field. I thought I was seeing my first connection, but I wasn't. I think they gave me an overall view of, let's just call it, our timeline potentials. I could see a body, no one's in particular I guess, or maybe mine, but didn't really see the body long enough to connect to it, and this metal tubby thing covered its entirety. The whole body is now considered your core. At the top and bottom of this tubby thing were things that looked like propellers, metal tabs that extended outwards from the top and bottom, head and feet, about an easy 10 feet out, and there were too many to count. What the hell is that? I had no idea. It's only now that I understand it. The construct was made out of this metal, a deep gray silver metal, representing earth elements, since that is our current incarnation of consciousness placement. The metal represents earth. The propeller things hooks into timelines, dimensions, collectives and so on. We can be accessing a higher consciousness with the propellers, and they are not propellers. I am just using that as a description to call them something, and our feet in a completely different density reality. We all have this mechanism. Our job over the final quarter of this year is to become intimately familiar with it, with using it, and finding ways to make sure our head propeller and feet propeller open to the same frequency. This, as all things we are getting familiar with, will be trial and error until it's not, at least through the end of this year. Again, on that day, seeing this image, without any understanding of it, and assuming I was seeing my first appointment, I asked to see an image of me, of where I am right now. It was such a crisp, clear visual. I was in the dark, like the dark of the night. Off to my left, which now represents the fullness of consciousness instead of just physical life, was this huge, bright rising sun coming up from the horizon, and the image of me running as fast as I could, towards the sun. I just had to giggle. Yup, that's what I feel like, especially that day, my first day back into readings. I am running towards your light to drink of your soul shine. Yesterday, I booked a lady in the 8 a.m. slot, completely forgetting I don't start my days now until 8:30 since I actually have to drive to work. When I pulled out of my carport, the full moon was brilliant in the early morning sky. I took pictures, of course. It wasn't until I pulled into the parking lot where my office is did I get the fullness of this early morning experience. The image I was shown on Saturday fully expressing itself in my created reality on Monday. That sunrises to the left of my office door in the flood of light was as brilliant as the image I had seen Saturday morning. The full moon coming out of the night to touch into the new day rising. A full-on expression of my own life. In a way, my life has been in the night sky since July, focused on the only thing in front of me, my mother's well-being. Then, spending 9 days in the grieving process, a true dark night of the soul, but not as horrific as the first time around. This is the millionth time, over the last 17 years, and came with understanding and allowance for its need to be. However, this sunrise, this new day, was and is unlike any other coming out of the dark night. It is the everlasting new day. This may sound corny, but I am hearing it in relationship to all this, and on the third day, he rose again. This may have been my personal experience, but it includes every one of us, our collective, our tribe fully alive upon this precious earth. We have come through it all, together, as one. Together we opened up a new day that will never end, but only get brighter from here on out. Keeping in flow of my own experiences, before I get to the nuggets zooming out of each connection, I was over the moon excited to have someone read for me. I purposely choose a medium because all I wanted was my mother and or father to come through. And yes, I do have my own connection, but again, I am still human and have my blockers in place, my own doing. Of course, I just wanted another mouthpiece to give me some messages. The first thing I did when I went into the room with this beautiful lady was check her energy field. Tiny little sparkles, kinda reminded me of fairies I guess, fluttering around her back and shoulders. Cool, this lady is connected. Yay. Yet, as this precious soul started giving me messages, everything she was telling me I was getting ready to do, I have already done, some things as long as 10 years ago. She was very accurate, just reading a timeline as if it was new to me. It was already long past. Right down to writing a book that contained my memoirs. Did that a decade ago. She talked about having a physical place to work out of with a partner, did that back in 2010. And I will not do that again. Though she did talk about the increase of frequency happening and the expansion of light coming in which will take our abilities to a whole other level. She mentioned about just coming out of a dark place. On my drive to go meet with her, I acknowledged to my team that I have indeed come through the last of the dark nights of the soul experience with this passage with my mom. So I understood what she was seeing. There was plenty of validation that what she was getting was accurate, but very little in this present moment. Except to say that Archangel Michael was standing to my right. Yup, that's my dude. She also said she was getting the color yellow and asked if I had a connection to yellow. Yes. That's my validator, has been for 16 years, especially through the Coldplay song, Yellow. So I knew my team was saying, pay attention. She mentioned something my team threatened me with for years, and as far as I am concerned, I reached that already. Though my team disagrees. She said I must put myself on a bigger platform, that someone is or will be coming into my path that will put me on a platform equal to Dorian Virtue. Alrighty then, I don't want that, but hell, I know this game isn't about what the small me wants. We shall see. I am not writing any more books though. Too much work for too little return, money-wise. Oh, she also said about doing hands-on work, that there is a tremendous energy that flows out of my hands. I did 7 years of massage work, ain't doing that again either. When she asked if I had any questions, I said I was hoping some of my family would come through. That didn't go well. Although she said there were 2 ladies standing next to me and a male off to the side near her, but he wasn't ready or able to communicate. She never got the mother-father connection, or the timeline of my mother's passing. I relieved her struggle by saying my mother was never a mother to me, so that is probably why you cannot feel the mom connection. It didn't matter. I was ready to go. Bless her heart. On my drive home, my team reminded me of something I tell people who have had not so wonderful readings with psychics: they cannot see beyond their own timeline. None of us can. Our vibration is aligned with, let's say, 2010, we cannot see beyond that. So it's not that they are not accurate, just seeing from a different timeline. The reasons she had so much trouble with the medium part, we changed the timeline to one that exists in a whole other realm of frequency. It was also worth the experience, the confirmation of something I have been saying, through your teams, for decades, and really helped me understand the entanglement of time in a brand new way. Okay, enough about me and my crazy adventures. Let's get to the light show of readings. Have I told you lately just how much I love and appreciate you? You really are my fine wine of consumption, and I delight in you on so many levels. The clans are so wide and so vast, it gives me a smile every day. The Magnetic Force clan, the Witch clan, hell, I didn't even realize until just now that each of you showing up right now are representing a unique association with each clan. Again, the use of the word clan is spirit's, not my own. So let's be really clear on this usage: clan, noun. A group of close-knit and interrelated families, especially associated with families in the Scottish Highlands. Synonyms: group of families. Informal, a family, especially a large one. The Kennedy clan gathered for the celebration. Synonyms: group of families. A group of people with a strong common interest, I would say, abilities as opposed to just interests. New York's Gawlas clan of artists. Synonyms: group, set, circle, clique, coterie. More. Unlike clans on the physical earth, there is no inner or outer fighting, the need for domination or anything like that. Instead, we are like a tapestry, interwoven threads, clans, that create new images, new realities every moment. The more we allow ourselves to interweave into the lower platforms on earth, the higher their vibration has to go. That changes completely any given landscape of energy, of outcomes. For example, I cannot make a statement containing a higher truth that does not affect all clans on earth. For those still held to the density of duality, I will piss some people off, put them on the defense. That's awesome, let's stir things up a bit. For those working beyond the field of karma, it stirs you up to greater potentials, of abilities and cohesiveness. And trust me, you do the same for me, in all ways. Oh, here is an added tidbit. As I am pondering the difference within a tribe or many clans, I was wondering about the use of the word tribe, as my team uses it. It's always about how my team talks and not how anyone else talks, versus the use of the word clan. Wholeness and diversity is crucial in tribes. Now let me mention some of the information that came through yesterday's connections. My first beautiful lady asked a question that I find profound in reply, and I know it is important for all of us to understand intimately. Other people, first off, ignore other people, have told her that she is too ungrounded, she lives in the ethers and wanted to know how to bring her soul more into body. Don't you dare! We are now in our multidimensional form for use and all that goes with it. Our energies, to include consciousness and soul, reaches beyond the limitations of time and space. A place, a frequency freedom we have all worked our asses off to achieve, and you sure as hell don't want to put the genie back into the bottle. It may take a little practice being this expanded at all times, but please, know this is the best possible outcome you could have ever hoped for, regardless of what other people may say you need to be, or do, or act. And then we come to that pesky word, healing. Release it from your vocabulary once and for all. Please. And with this, I speak only to those who are free of the karmic energies that they came in with. Others are still working that out, and healing is their only next important step. You know who you are. We have all gone through this process and know it is done. There is nothing that will take you out of the expanded field of timelessness than the association of healing. You bring your consciousness back down to the field of imperfection, of lack, of something is wrong and needs to be fixed. When something is healed, it can only go back to the way it was. However, when you change your focus to raising the vibration, the frequencies, it goes beyond the way it was into higher forms of itself. Changing the focus in this way allows you to see the fuller potential and go there instead of the limited potential of restoration. I hope I am saying this in a way that makes sense. This redirection came through several times yesterday, and Spirit is more adamant about it now that they have been over this last year. Even if we see the earth in need of healing, we take ourselves out of the realm of perfection and upliftment and go back to a timeline where that is your truth. Well, there, as always, is so much more to share, but for whatever reason, my team is giving me the all done sign for today. So, I will leave off here until tomorrow. Big HUGZ, of timeless adventures and empowered moments to and through all. Lisa Gawlas, website, www.mysoulcenter.com. P.S. I have put together a special using the energy of 1, new beginnings, and 5, change, on my 15 and 30-minute reading sessions. Save 15% through the 23rd, or another 5 energy the lull, on 15 and 30-minute readings. Type in coupon code changes to receive discount.